group demand Nnamdi Kanu's release, 100 billion naira compensation for Southeast state over economic losses. Wow, this is huge. So, to my dear listeners, before I go into details, kindly please ensure you like, subscribe to this channel, and share. Good morning and welcome to today's news. The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, Uriwa, has renewed its call for immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, and demanded a compensation of 100 billion naira for his unconstitutional detention and dehumanization. The group also urged the federal government to compensate each of the southeast states with 100 billion naira to address the region's economic devastation caused by insecurity, mass arrest, and systemic neglect. In a statement issued on Tuesday by its national coordinator, Comrade Emmanuel Onwubeko, Uriwa criticized the federal government for its continued disregard for local court rulings and international human rights directives, including those of the United Nations Human Rights Council. The group said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's 30 months of detention without unlawful cause represents a grave miscarriage of justice that undermines Nigerians' democracy for respect for the rule of law. The prolonged and unconstitutional incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just a personal tragedy but a stain on Nigerians' commitment to justice, human rights, and democratic principles. We call for his immediate and unconditional release, as directed by multiple court rulings, and demand a public apology from the federal government alongside a 100 billion naira compensation for the dehumanization he has suffered, Uriwa stated. The organization also noted that Kanu's detention has exacerbated insecurity in the southeast, resulting in a significant economic downturn for the region. Uriwa estimated that the insecurity triggered by the government's heavy-handed approach has cost the southeast billions in lost revenue, disrupted education, and heightened unemployment among the youth. The economic bleeding of the southeast zone, perpetuated by the unlawful arrest and detention of hundreds of Igbo youth under the guise of belonging to IPOB, has created a climate of fear and instability. This has deterred investment, shuttered businesses, and left millions of people struggling to survive. The federal government must compensate each of the five southeast states with 100 billion naira to mitigate these economic losses and restore stability, the statement added. Uriwa proposed that the compensation funds to managed by the Bank of Industry with a focus on skills acquisitions and economic empowerment initiatives targeting 1 million youth from each of the five southeast states. The organization argued that such an approach would provide tangible benefit and ensure that the funds are not misappropriated by political actors, as has been the case with similar initiatives. While the federal government has reportedly approved a 300 billion naira takeoff fund for the Southeast Development Commission, the history of zonal development commissions such as the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) raises serious concerns about transparency and accountability. Without strict oversight, this funding could end up being siphoned by politicians and fail to deliver meaningful development. We urge the government to explore alternative mechanisms to ensure effective utilizations of these funds, Uriwa warned. The rights group also condemned the violence and insecurity plague in the southeast, attributing much of the unrest to the federal government's failure to engage in meaningful dialogue with the region's stakeholders. Uriwa called for a comprehensive peace-building strategy supported by the United Nations to restore security, stability, and economic recovery in the southeast. To end the cycle of violence in the southeast, the government must adopt a multi-pronged approach that includes dialogue with aggrieved groups, the release of political detainees, and investment in infrastructure and human capital development. We also call on the United Nations to assist in facilitating peace building efforts and ensuring that justice is served for the people of the Southeast. The statement read. Uriwa stressed that addressing the grievances of the Southeast is essential for Nigerians' unity and progress. The group urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to rise above partisan politics and demonstrate statesmanship by initiating policies that promote equity, fairness, and justice across all regions of the country.
Now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by the comment section and let us know what your view is all about. Thank you for listening.